This is Inside with Outsiders. I'm Jeremy Asgari, and today's guest is Stan Puzdriak, all the way from Philly, but originally from Ukraine.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, man. This is one of the interviews we've redone, and I'm actually kind of happy that we're redoing this one.
Yeah, me too.
We had. I feel bad for Bams.
I apologize.
No. Don't apologize. You put in a lot of work to this show, and this wasn't something that you could control, but basically our audio.
Yeah, the audio shot. I literally hit up an engineer that you sent me. I hit up an engineer that Sarin sent me. Like I hit up everybody to see if we could clean up the audio, and it's like, dude, it's done.
But it's a blessing, honestly, because of where he's from Ukraine, and everything that's transpired since the interview. I mean, the war between Ukraine and Russia, obviously, it's been a long time. It didn't just start when we heard about it 3 months ago.
It started 8 years ago.
So 8 years ago, but the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
3-4 months ago.
It happened on February 21st night. Yeah.
So the fact that we can now have you on the show and we can speak about it,
Sure,
in detail, and we can hear about your upbringing in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And also what's going on there right now from somebody who is got strong ties there with your company, with your family.
Sure, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be more of it's a different kind of interview from what we've done so far. There's some very serious topics as current events in the world. So I appreciate you coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the audio file got corrupted.
I believe in destiny, and I think it was a destiny to me for me to come here again just to share more information about what is happening in my country and what is happening here and what is happening with all Ukrainians now.
I agree. So
yeah.
Why don't we start with your story, kind of build from there, and hear about how being from Ukraine has shaped you and what your home country was like. So tell us where you're from exactly.
I'm originally from Ukraine. Chernivtsi is my hometown. It's a small city, 300,000 people living there. It's on western Ukraine. It's not far from Romanian border. We have a lot of Romanians in our city. A lot of people from Moldova, some Russians. It's more like people with Russian roots. We have a lot of them in our city.
Really?
From Poland, from Germany, because our city was under Austria for many years, was under Soviet Union, it was also under Romania.
Well,
I believe it was also even under Nazi Germany for a few months.
Really?
So that's the reason why we have so many different people in our city.
So you're in the western portion, right? It's the western portion of Ukraine?
Yeah, but right now we don't prefer to say western, eastern Ukraine, because Ukraine is united as never before right now. So we just say I'm from Ukraine.
I mean, geographically.
Geographically, yeah, western.
That's interesting that you have a lot of Russian people there, given that Russia is east of Ukraine.
That's really strange. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a Russian-speaking community.
Okay. So you speak both Ukrainian and Russian?
Yeah. Most of my childhood, most of my friends, they prefer Russian as their first language.
What was your first language?
Oh, mine is Ukrainian, yeah.
Ukrainian. And how different is Ukrainian from Russian? And how would you compare it between other languages?
I think for me, I don't see much difference, but Russians, they can't understand what we're talking about.
They can or cannot?
They can't even pronounce some of our words.
Really?
We have a specific word. It's palyantsia. That means it's like pancake.
Okay.
Palyantsia, they can't pronounce it.
I got to remember that word.
That's
pancakes.
The way we recognize that person is Russian.
Really?
Say palyantsia. That's what we say. There's a lot of... there are many videos of Russian soldiers captured in captivity where our soldiers ask them, say palyantsia, and they can't.
Really?
They can't pronounce it.
I don't want to bring, Top Gear, the UK show, Top Gear?
Yeah, sure.
So there's an episode where he talks about Russia and they how you get Russia, because they can't say squirrel.
Squirrel?
They say squirrel like that, like they can't pronounce.
There's a lot of.
But because that's how you because he said a lot of Russians come into the UK and they speak with the English accent. That's how you can tell they're Russian because they can't pronounce the word.
Well,
squirrel.
French people can't pronounce squirrel either. Squirrel or Bowery. My friend from France visiting, and he was looking for Bowery Street, and he went up to a police officer, and the police officer laughed at him because he was saying Bovary. Like, what are you talking about? Bowery. He couldn't say it. But anyway, that's off topic. What year would you say you grew up in what's the town again?
Well, sorry, what's your question?
what year was this when you growing up? Like how old are you?
I am 28. I moved to the United States when I was 25 or 26.
Okay. And you're the Outsiders videographer.
Yeah.
You're our guy go-to. Did you always know you wanted to do videography?
Yeah, sure. Not always. I wasn't sure about that, but I remember since I was a little kid, I wanted to do some videos. I just didn't understand that I can make some money on it.
Right.
That's the reason why I didn't spend much time on it, because I was thinking I need to find a real job, something like that. So I didn't realize it can be like I can by making videography even more than a real job.
Right. I mean, it's in such high demand, content creation.
Yeah, now it is.
That's also if you hustle. Like, you literally got to put the work in. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, you literally have to work day and night if you're going to try and make money.
Like, I need to work hard, but at the same time, I really love to do that. So I don't feel like exhausted.
And you also have a great business model. I mean, you're getting clients here in the States, you're shooting, but your editing team, you're sending it back to Ukraine.
Yeah, our editing team is located in Chernihiv. Yeah. Recently, I was editing most of my stuff myself just because I like it, but I recently started to send everything to Ukraine since my son was born. I don't know much. Thank you.
Wait, was your son born when we did the interview or not yet?
He is 5 months old.
Okay, so he was, yeah.
He was maybe, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Congrats again on that.
Thank you.
So, when did you move to the United States and why?
I was dreaming about moving here since I was a little kid. But I moved here only 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately it was harder than I thought. It took me 5 years to move here because it's really hard to open visa or just to get here.
Yeah.
Right now it's easier. There are many new refugees from Ukraine coming to the United States.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
And where are they going? Where in the United States are they landing?
Different spots. Mostly they go to New York or Chicago or Philadelphia because there are huge Ukrainian communities.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for them to find some job, to find people that can help them. So yeah, there are many people from Ukraine are coming here.
And how did you decide on Philadelphia when you moved here?
Because my wife lives there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she came here earlier than me with her parents, and like I came just the first city, and then COVID started. Before that, I was thinking to move to Los Angeles or to New York City.
Are you still considering Los Angeles now?
Yeah, that's the funny thing because
Darshan told me that, and I'm like, no.
No, I recently was thinking to move to Los Angeles, but I think we changed our mind because I get so many clients here in Philly, in New York, and in Washington. I just don't want to leave them, like, because I just recently started to make a lot of money, like comparing to what I was making before, and like moving to new place, I will like. It's not a big deal for me to fly to Los Angeles for a week or for 2 weeks for a specific project, but it's much easier for me to live here because I know more people here, and I also love New York. Even I don't live in New York, I love to visit.
It's close enough.
Yeah, I visit New York at least 4 or 5 times a month.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of be removed from the Ukrainian community. I'm not sure there's a large Ukrainian community in LA, is there?
Yeah, not as big as here, but there is a big Ukrainian community. But honestly, I don't have many Ukrainian friends here. I don't know why, it's just happened.
Yeah.
I have many friends from Belarus. There is a huge Belarusian community in Philadelphia as well.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
I just meet people not because of their nation, just so most of my friends are now Americans, I can say. Most of the people I know they're Americans.
I had to get that correct in there. So again, I feel like I'm trying to hear more of your story, but there's a bigger. I want to hear so much more about this. You know, you're from Ukraine. You're growing up. Your perspective is so much different, and you can give us insight on what is happening there from your experience, from your friends. Like, let's just dive into it. Like,
okay.
This has been an 8-year thing going on. What's happening?
So this year, as this war started 8 years ago, and then for these 8 years, people didn't pay much attention to it. Even in Ukraine, because it was very local, like not very local, it was happening only in 2 states.
Yeah.
So like we got used to it. Even when I lived here, so many Americans ask me, hey, I heard that Russia is planning to attack you. Do you know about that? Yes, I know. They attacked us many times before. Right. It's nothing new is happening. You're used to it. Like,
So the first attack started 8 years ago. Or has this been an ongoing thing since the fall of the Soviet Union?
Like Russia tried to destroy Ukraine many times, even before Putin, even before I was born, many times.
What is the reason? What's the objective?
That's a good question. I have no idea, but if you can even check, there is a cool YouTube channel called Vox, like VOX.
Okay.
They make a really cool video explaining different stuff.
Vox is
Vox is
it's good. They got like
They're
it's kind of like a Vice almost.
Okay.
Yeah. They recently made a few cool videos about Ukrainian genocide.
Genocide.
Yeah. About Russians trying to destroy us, and I have no idea why it's happening. Sometimes I feel like they're pure evil on this earth.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think the pure evil is always driven by money and resources, which is still equating to money, right?
Maybe.
So I've heard stories about like a pipeline for fossil fuels, and that goes through Ukraine from Russia to get to the Western Europe. So is that a reason, or is that even true? I don't even know. I'm not an expert. Like, this is definitely much different from any other show we've done before.
There's one interesting story about one woman from Bucha. Have you heard about Bucha? It's a small city not far from Kiev. More than 400 people were murdered by Russian soldiers, civil people.
Civilians, really?
Civilians. They were raped. Most of women were raped. There are many girls that are pregnant, and they also raped some men. And also some old women. There are some news.
Soldiers did this.
Soldiers. If you don't believe me, if you don't think like I'm lying or it's just part of our propaganda, you can check it on American news. There are also interviews with Ukrainian people. There are also videos, tons of videos. Thing, yeah. There is even a video where a Russian soldier is raping infant baby. I saw it personally. I didn't believe that video before I saw it personally, but it happened.
But I mean, why?
Why did he do this?
No, I mean, there's no explanation. You can't explain that, right? This, like you said, there's pure evil. I mean, these are war crimes, right? This has nothing to do with politics.
One woman from that village, she had a conversation with a Russian soldier, and she asked the soldier, "Why did you come here?" And he answered to her, "Did you think that you can live better than we do?"
It doesn't really make sense.
Like, they just like haters. They don't like that we can have a better life than Russians, that they do in their like country. Like, imagine there are some haters that hate you for no reason, because you see there are some haters.
Yeah, but I mean, how is there an entire government and country that's
really strange, because before war, so many people told me, I think it's a reason because it's propaganda, it's because of Putin. No, it happened many times before Putin.
Where did it start, though? How did this start and why?
Sorry, I'm not the one who can answer this question, unfortunately. I don't know that much about
I don't
history,
expect. I know you're not an expert in this, right? But I want to hear, like, maybe you've heard stories growing up from your parents or neighbors or teachers. Like, what are the thoughts on that?
Well, even my grandparent, I unfortunately didn't meet him personally because he died before I was born. But my mother told me, like, all his life he was saying, "Can I curse?" Mm-hmm. He was saying "fucking Russians."
Yeah.
Fucking Russians. He was secretly listening to Voice of America on his radio station, like talking about what American news talking about, what is happening, and like he hated Russians. And my father told me that when Soviet Union came, they took all the farms, all the territories that my grandfather had. He was the richest person in his village. They just took everything. Russians.
And when was this? This is during the World War?
It was, I think it happened maybe 60, 70 years ago. I see. Maybe I'll check it with him. I'm not sure what happened. If it happened after or before Second World War II.
So this is something that's been going on way before. I mean, this war. This has been.
So what is interesting about this war? This is the first time when we fight back. And
what happened before? You guys just.
It was really hard because we were not united. We didn't have much. We didn't have a strong leader. That's what we do now. We have a really strong leader now.
Yeah.
I think Zelensky is the most famous politic in the world right now.
And you said something interesting. Yeah, he is. He's getting tons of press, and he's not. I mean, he's not backing down. You said me something interesting. There was propaganda saying that Ukraine was anti-Semitic, but I think you said that.
I see.
No. You didn't say that. I'm saying that was some propaganda Russia was using. But isn't your president Jewish?
They're saying that we are Nazis.
Yeah, but isn't your president Jewish?
He's Jewish. He is.
That's crazy.
And his grandfather was a soldier during World War II.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, what's insane to me is how media can control the outcome of history.
Yeah, if you ask, there are many videos people interviewing Russians on the streets right now, and if you ask most of them where do you receive your news, where do you get news, they say I watch TV. They still watch TV. I have no idea why.
As opposed to internet.
They don't use internet that much. They watch TV a lot.
How old? I mean, the young folks too. Because I know, even in the United States, people that are,
there are even many Russians in the United States living here supporting Putin. They hate the United States, but they live here. I know some of them personally.
Really?
Yeah. They live here for no reason. At the same time, they hate the United States. Some of them are thinking about coming back to Russia. My close friend, he's in Florida now, and he's renting a room from a one woman. She's actually Ukrainian with Hungary roots.
Hungarian, yeah.
Hungary roots, and she is watching Russian news, and she's planning to move to Russia. She's saying like, there will be no America in a few years. I need to go back to Russia. This is a place where it's a good life. There are nice people.
So she's saying, and this is the fear.
Try to watch Russian news for an hour.
Where do I watch that?
Your brain will melt. Like I tried to watch it once. It's like your brain is melting.
How would you compare it to some of the American news channels? And
there's difference.
The American news channels they're very polarized, right? So there's CNN, which is very liberal democratic. There's Fox News, which is very Republican. MSNBC tries to play the middle ground, although I think it might be a little more on the liberal side.
That's what I love about the United States. If you like more liberal side, you can watch CNN, and you can move to California, to New York. If you don't like it, you move to Texas, to Oklahoma, and you watch Fox News. You have a choice.
Yeah, but I would love
you have no choice in Russia.
Is there ever going to be a neutral news, reporting the news fact-based and not taking a side? Because we don't have that, right? In my opinion.
Oh, in the United States?
I think the only one, I mean, like I said, we discussed this during the last.
What do you think about New York Times?
BBC.
Maybe BBC.
Maybe.
Yeah, but the BBC news we have here on the BBC app is not the same BBC news.
No. Well, yeah. Well, I use a VPN. So I go I log in under an UK IP address, and you get to watch the BBC that they watch.
Gotcha. And that goes back to the news. When I travel abroad, I see news about every country. The news in France, for example, shows what's happening politically in different countries and so on. Here we get the news about the United States and maybe a war that's going on, but we know nothing about any other elections, nothing going on, which is a little sad and annoying, but yeah, it makes sense for most of the United States because I don't think they even know about names of some other countries,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I recently was visiting a barber shop, and my hairdresser, she didn't know what is NATO.
She didn't know what NATO is, okay.
She didn't know what is NATO, what NATO is.
So what are your thoughts on Ukraine? Well, I know there's some negotiations originally happening saying that there'd be a ceasefire as long as Ukraine didn't join NATO. Because Ukraine's not NATO.
No, we're not.
You think that's a good thing for Ukraine?
Yeah, for sure. Funny thing, when I was a kid, they tried to push NATO Russians made a propaganda in Ukraine when I was a kid about NATO, that NATO is bad. Even when I was a kid, I was told by my teachers in school that if we will go to NATO, I would need to go to war to fight in Iraq from American side. That's what they told us.
If you were in the military, that is a good possibility that you would have, if there was a forced draft.
But they tried to make me afraid of this. Right now, I understand they tried.
In Ukraine, is there a draft?
What?
Required military service?
Yes.
There is. You have to do military service.
Yeah.
You did it?
No, I didn't. I still don't understand why. They told me that I have we call it white ticket or something.
Oh yeah.
That I'm not allowed because of some health issues.
Okay.
I honestly have no health issues. I didn't know, except some.
You weren't going to argue, yeah.
I didn't argue. But when it happened, I think it was before war started.
And this is...
I was 18, it was 10 years ago, yeah.
It's a 2-year minimum requirement, or what's the requirement?
It's 1 year in Ukraine.
1 year.
But I'm pretty sure there are more and more people that want to join army now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what I understand,
We have a professional army. It's not something like, it's like so similar to Israel now.
Yeah.
Israel.
What is it? I mean, what is it like now? I mean, I know you haven't been there since it started, but from what we've seen in the news, and I had a friend of mine who was giving me some insight. She was in Kiev when this was going down, and she told me some crazy stuff about hearing bombs go off all night long and so on. She also said that there were civilians just getting arms and going to fight that weren't in the army.
We have a huge army. I think nearly 300,000 soldiers overall, which we have an even bigger army than Russia has.
How is that possible? What's the population of Ukraine?
45 million people, something like that.
45 million people in Ukraine? That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you gotta remember, Russia's population is
they have
vast.
three times higher population, but the reason why they have a smaller army because they didn't have a mobilization. They can't require people to go to army because they say there is no war. There's like special operation happening in Ukraine. So like half of our people join armies are new people. But Russia can't make people join new army.
So they're saying it's not a war.
They say no war. It's like special operation happening here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what Putin's been saying, special operations.
And from what I understand, initially, it was worry that Russia was going to overpower, but apparently something like 7 Russian generals have been murdered, killed, excuse me.
You know how many Russian soldiers were killed so far? No. 21,000 people.
21,000. For today. And how about Ukrainian?
I heard nearly 5,000 Ukrainian.
How about civilians?
A lot, unfortunately. You know why? Because these stupid assholes, they just hit rockets into cities for no reasons.
But how
you know why it's stupid? If you will not talk even about just people dying, that is bad. Like, let's talk about from a military perspective. Like, if you want to invade country, you need to destroy army.
Right.
They don't do this. They just kill people. And there is no point for them to do this. They're just losing their rockets. It will not help them to invade us.
In your opinion, I know you're not an expert, what is their goal by doing this and their goal overall?
Putin didn't like to see Ukraine as a free country because Russians would see, hey, this country like have a better economy than we have, and people have choice. They can decide. They can do whatever they want, and now they're like, we are going to become citizens of European Union.
Yeah.
European Union.
Ukraine is going to become?
Yeah, soon. So
I mean, I've been to both countries. I've been to Kiev and I've been to St. Petersburg, Russia. It definitely felt different.
Really? I haven't been.
I mean, I felt when I was in Russia. I went to Russia.
When was it?
15 years ago, 14 years ago, long time. It felt a little more. Didn't feel that much different, but it felt a little bit more Cold War-ish, if that makes sense. I felt like the remnants of communist Russia. That's what it felt like. But even when I went to Kiev, it's a beautiful city, but there's also some aspects of it that were interesting. Because where I was staying was in the heart of the city, and I go to the building I'm supposed to stay in. I go through the back.
Was it also 15 years ago?
No, I went to Kiev 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I had a great time. I had a great time in St. Petersburg too.
Kiev has many cool bars.
I had a great time.
Restaurants.
I had a great time.
I believe it.
It was interesting because there's a lot of building, I feel like it was up and coming, a lot of money being put into it, even though it's super cheap there. I love how things like Uber was like $3 to get from here to here, from here to like, 30 minutes away. It was like $3. But it was interesting because some of the places I go to, the building I was staying in, the common areas look like scary, like old and dark. But when I got into the apartment, it was like brand new everything. It was gorgeous, and I heard a lot of places were like that. Again, I didn't go there trying to compare the two, and it was just vacation for both. But I'm sure you've been to Russia, right? Have you been to Russia?
No, never.
Never.
I never was planning, and I'm pretty sure I'm never going to visit this country.
I understand.
I mean, there was always no reason for me to visit Russia. I have no point. It's not. a really good place for tourists. There are like nicer places in the world that they want to visit, and it's not much different than Ukraine. If I want like to find similar architecture, I can find it in Ukraine too.
So let's talk about what's currently going on and how we can help. I know you've been doing a lot of stuff.
Oh, right now, just sending money. Just don't send money to Red Cross. That's what I ask people. Please don't do that.
Is Red Cross really sending money to Russia?
Yes, it's so stupid. Like Mila Kunis with Ashton Kutcher, they gathered like $10 million or even more, and all this money they went to Russia. Unfortunately, to Red Cross in Russia. They opened new offices in Russia.
You're joking.
I'm not.
And Mila Kunis is Ukrainian.
Yeah, she's. Oh, it's not her fault. Sorry, it's not her fault. She was just gathering money. She was helping.
Yeah.
She didn't know where is this money were going to go.
Oh my God.
So
what?
I was also surprised.
You do some things with
drones.
What?
I was sending drones
to
Ukrainian army.
Cars? You mentioned cars.
Yeah, I was gathering money for cars. So I have people that buy in Ukraine that buy cars from England. In England, cheap cars, and they send it to Ukrainian army. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think is the in the next? So today's date is April 21st. So we plan on hopefully putting this out next week because there's so much time relevance as far as what you're talking about. Things may change, but in the next month or two, in the next 3 months, how do you foresee everything unfolding?
By destroying Russian army. So Americans sent us a lot of new weapons. Germany didn't send as much before, but they are sending something new. Hungary didn't send. Czech sent a lot. Poland sent a lot. Latvia, Litva. We are getting more and more weapons. Right now, we have more tanks than Russia had before, than Russia has now. You know why? Because we recaptured their tanks.
Really?
There are so many videos Russians leaving their tanks because they're running away. You know what is Javelin?
What's that?
Javelin.
Javelin.
There is a huge, you can...
rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher, yeah. You can use... It's very easy to use, and just one person can destroy a Russian tank.
Yeah.
And when our soldiers attack their, bunch of their tanks, some of them are destroyed, but all of other tanks, they're leaving, they're running away. And then the way how we are getting new units to our army.
So let me ask you: you see Ukraine being able to hold off Russia entirely, and
for sure. In the next 3 weeks, we are going to destroy a lot of new Russians.
What about the states that were kind of taken by Russia?
We will take them away. We'll take them back.
Is it Crimea?
I'm not sure about Crimea. Crimea is a difficult question because I think we will take it back peacefully later. But we need to make it peacefully. People in Crimea need to want to become part of Ukraine back again.
Okay, so they wanted to be Russian.
I have no idea what is happening right now because of Russian propaganda. Not sure what is going on there. You can just come there and ask people, what do you want?
Right.
We need to ask them. We need to have in Ukraine a referendum. People need to vote.
Yeah.
What they want to be. But if you're talking about our other states, we will take them back by force.
Now, once the Russian army is pushed out and Ukraine,
we push them out from a few of our states right now.
But once that happens for the entirety of Ukraine,
when
it does, do you think Ukraine will stop and just fortify the border, or will they continue?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
What would you like to see? but think from a human perspective, right? Because there's civilians on both sides that might be.
I don't think we need to stop, but I don't think we need to take some Russian territories. We just need to destroy some of their nearby bases, some of their strategic objects not far from our borders. That's what we need to do. But there is no reason to attack their cities or civilians. There is no reason, and it's a stupid thing because it will make more and more Russians to want to fight with us.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. I'm sure there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of Russians in Ukraine.
I don't think we are going to invade Russian territories or something like that.
Do you think that the Russians who are residents in the Ukraine are feeling are getting, obviously like feeling prejudice towards them or
I don't think so. You can freely
harmful acts?
You can freely speak Russian in Ukraine, and no one will judge you.
Okay, so there's no
like 50%
no
of our people, they consider Russian as their first language.
right.
But there are more and more people that switch to Ukrainian.
But I'm asking in the sense where actual Russian people, not Russian speaking, but actual Russians that are in Ukraine, are they being feeling the hate on them? I don't know how to describe it. Like, are they being held accountable for the Russian government actions?
Yeah.
By other Ukrainians?
In Ukraine?
In Ukraine, Russians that live in Ukraine.
Okay.
Are they
I
being
don't think there are many
discriminated
Russians
against?
that live in Ukraine right now.
None?
I don't think there are many of them.
Because I know you said there were a lot in your hometown.
In my hometown, but they're Ukrainians. They just have some relatives in Russia.
Okay.
Like they moved to Chernivtsi like 50 years ago.
Oh,
70
gotcha,
years
gotcha.
ago.
Okay, so they consider themselves Russian.
They're not.
I mean,
they consider
Ukrainian.
themselves as Ukrainians
sorry.
now.
Yeah,
So.
Ukrainian. Well, where can people donate money and donate? That's
UNICEF.
Sure.
As I know, UNICEF is a safe place, but people can just reach out to me, and I will.
What's the best way to reach out to you?
Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
MRPRID, Mr. Prid.
Mr. Prid, one word?
One word, yeah.
All right, we'll put that
You can reach
in.
out to my Instagram and you can ask me I wanna to spend this money for army, or I want to give it to people or something. I can reach out to other volunteers that are gathering money.
And how can you guarantee the money will go to the right places?
I can send you photos. Like, for example, I was gathering money for cars.
Yeah.
I have photos of new cars. I can provide photos after.
That's amazing.
That's the reason why I'm afraid to give money to a big organization.
Yeah.
There are no proofs. Where is this?
Another good thing is that you have direct ties to people on the ground there.
No,
You
I can
get
do. I
this
can direct.
I know this is our second time interviewing you. The first time we spoke about this, but the first time we spoke a lot about your story and what your goals are and so on. And I'd love to still hear that, of course. But how have your goals in life changed? And have they, because of what's going on? Is anything in your life and how you see your future happening changed
I
since?
think nothing changed.
So what is your goal then?
I'm still planning to build a huge video production company in Ukraine that is working with American companies. That's what I do now. Right now we have 30 people in our team.
Nice.
Rebel Monkey.
I love the name. Rebel Monkey.
Yeah, and we are planning to hire more and more people because there are so many people that are losing jobs because of war, and we want to hire more and more people to work with American companies because it's a way for them to make money, to support their families, support country, support our economy. So if you want to support Ukraine, you can also to hire Rebel Monkey to make a video project for you, and this is also the way to support Ukraine.
Absolutely, man.
I don't want to sound like it's just I'm promoting my services.
I mean,
but
your services. I mean, you're promoting your services, right? But your services are actually helping the economy because you're hiring, right?
Yeah.
So directly helping the economy.
If you need any visual effects, 3D animation, to any kind of animation or video editing services,
and some of the videos you've seen from Outsiders, the On Shakeout Run from a marathon weekend with On running. Our fall camping weekend, and the stuff that we've gotten great reviews about and great feedback thanks to you. It's amazing video work.
Yeah, I also like it. Thank you.
So if you, I think if you're on our YouTube channel watching this, we posted, I think we may have posted some of those videos. If not, we will. But or you can also see it on our Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
So what are your dreams, your personal dreams? I know you have this dream to build this whole big company in Ukraine.
I always was dreaming to have an Oscar, but after Will Smith, I'm not sure if I still want. It's like every year it feels like less and less important to have an Oscar. Doesn't feel like it's a cool thing right now. It's not a luxury. It was luxury 10 years ago. If you will watch all the old ceremonies, they look like so nice,
elegant,
people wearing jackets, and everything was so fancy. And right now it's so political.
How so?
Because they speak about important things right now, but they're I think it's more about I don't know how to explain that. I do not.
Is it? You think it's more about current events as opposed to the art?
Also about that, but I just can't explain it.
You think like maybe they're just talking about current events for the sake of talking about current events?
Yeah,
Like
during
they have
the
to?
last ceremonies they talked. I remember the joke because there were three women representing Oscars this year, and they said there are three women tonight because it's much cheaper to hire three women than one man. It was fun, but at the same time, like, I'm not sure if that's what we need to share during Oscar. I think it's it's about making awards for people that support cinematography. We need to speak more about cinematography during that, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, we're hearing the artist perspective, right? And this is an award for the artist, so you're not necessarily wrong. I think these topics are discussed.
Yes, they don't speak about art right now.
Right.
We don't speak about art. We speak about
because I think they take the opportunity because they have the platform, right? But then what's funny is that that's accepted. But then if you look at Colin Kaepernick, who has a platform of football, right? And he's trying to use that. He was trying to use that platform for his cause, which was a noble, justifiable cause, and he gets bashed for it. You know. So I agree, disagree. I think there needs to be a balance. So I obviously think that current events need to be spoken about, but it doesn't need to be taking over the entire show.
Yeah.
But again, like Mila Kunis, I mean, unfortunately, the money didn't go to the right place, but I'm sure her speaking about it helped raise more money. And that's what we want. But, you know, do you make the whole show about how you can make the world a better place? Or do you make the show, you have an element of that, but then you focus on the actual art?
I agree.
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
It's a good thing here. I agree with you.
So if it's not an Oscar,
I still want to get an Oscar. I'm just saying that it's not as important as it was to me before.
So what's more important to you now?
How to say that in English? When people just like you, what you're doing, like just to make something that can be important for people, to make a project,
An impact.
To make a project that people will talk about in 10 years, in 20 years, something.
So
that
you
will
want to create a legacy for yourself, so you remember.
Leave a legacy, yeah. That's actually, good point. Yeah. I still want to make a few movies.
What kind of movies?
Right now I'm working on a documentary movie about immigrants in the United States.
Yes, what was it called again?
Tale of the American Dream.
What is it?
Tale of the American
Dream. And I know you did a crowdfunding. What is it?
Yeah, because there is some money to make.
And did you reach the goal you wanted to reach?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about this concept. I loved it. I guess the reel was amazing. I think the immigrant story is super interesting. Obviously, I think all three of us have immigrant parents or backgrounds, or we're immigrants ourselves, right?
Yeah, most of Americans.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even born here, but my mom went to high school here, right?
Yeah.
So when she immigrated from France, my dad came here after I was born. He came from Iran, right? So I know Chris's dad is Puerto Rican. I know although Puerto Rico is considered part of the United States, I would still consider someone coming from Puerto Rico an immigrant.
Yeah. No, I mean, when he came here, I don't think we were not really Commonwealth at that point.
Right.
But he came here in like the 40s and the 50s.
Really?
That's when he first started coming over here. Yeah.
When did it become Commonwealth?
I think it might have been.
That's not the term. It's
it's a Commonwealth of the United States.
Okay.
It might have been in maybe the mid 50s. I'm not really sure.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, he came over because they were trying to find work. They were literally working farms and shit like that. No, I say it's not showing on the video.
There's a bug floating around here.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he came over here because they literally worked all the farms in the Midwest.
Yeah.
When he came here, he was working with my grandfather. They worked at a mine in Death Valley.
Oh, wow.
They were doing when they first came here.
Yeah, we just passed Death Valley on a Zion trip. A weird place. So what is your documentary gonna talk about? What's the story behind it?
So when I moved to the United States, after a while I lived here, I realized that there are so many Americans that don't appreciate what they have. They think this country don't have any opportunities. This country sucks, and there are better countries like Canada because they have like free
Healthcare. Yeah.
healthcare. Like there are Switzerland, there are so many better countries in the world, and America sucks. And I was thinking, man, you haven't been in like abroad somewhere else. Like you can compare.
Right.
And I was thinking like I need to make a project to show Americans this country of opportunities. There are so many people coming here to achieve their goals, and they achieve their goals, and they're making money even they don't speak English, even they don't have a lot of money when they move here, even they don't have a citizenship.
Yeah.
They achieve a lot.
So the goal is to show that they're
if this country of opportunities or not. Like I'm not just pushing my thought about this project. I'm also asking different people, especially people of color living here. Is like, do they have like same opportunities here, or it's much harder when you're not like white person, when you're black or you're Asian?
And have you shot the whole film yet, or are you still shooting?
I'm still shooting. I'm working on this project when I have a free time.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to release it in autumn this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so you've gotten a lot of the shooting done.
Yeah, kind of.
So that's.
I'm not in a rush about this project. I just recently stopped doing this, and because of when war started, I was like, okay, let's delay work on this project for a few months.
So outside of this project, are there other projects that you have in the pipeline that you really want to do?
I want to film some shorts with actors.
Okay.
And
shorts that you create yourself?
No, I would like to work with some script writers. Scriptwriter? How do you
screenwriters or script?
Screenwriters.
Yeah, screenwriters. Right.
Yeah, or some directors from East Coast area, from New York or from Philadelphia on that. No, I'm not going. I just want to have more practice. I believe like I need more practice to do so before doing some features.
Okay.
I would love to do some features, but maybe later, after I have more free time with my company. I need to like to deal with the Rebel Monkey for some time. I just need to hire more and more people and let it grow without me, and then I can spend more time on my personal project.
I got to link him up with Syringe, because Syringe's boy is Tom, his director. He's been doing a lot of short stuff.
Okay, perfect.
It's pretty insane. So
I want to find like a person with similar vision to mine. For me personally, I would like to write some scripts, but I just don't have much experience in it. I'm pretty sure there are people that can do it better than me.
Of course.
Right now, I feel like I'm becoming more a producer than director or cinematographer.
And are you okay with that direction, or you rather?
Yeah. Like that's what I do in Rebel Monkey. I'm the owner. I'm a businessman. Like, it's funny thing, but my main income isn't cinematography. My main income is my business.
Yeah.
Like I'm running a video production company, and as a businessman.
Yeah. Let's tie it back to Outsiders. We met you through a coffee company, right? The guys from the coffee company.
Bean to Bean Coffee?
Was that?
Bean to Bean?
I think so.
They're my friends from Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I mention them before?
I don't know. That's who we got introduced through, right?
Oh, yeah. That's how it happened. That's a funny story because I accidentally met you, remember, in New York. I accidentally met you, and then I was able to work on your project. And during your project, I met a photographer. I always forget his name.
Steven.
Steven. And Steven introduced me to people from Great Britain. They have some projects in New York. I made a few projects for them. Then they introduced me to new people, and I have more projects in New York. And they also introduced me to people from Washington.
Yeah.
I got so many projects right now because I decided to visit New York that day with Jonathan from BT.
Really? See, it works out. I mean, I'm really happy, and we definitely have like so much more work to do with you. As soon as listen, anytime we have an opportunity to have a budget through our partners to have you, I'll hire you as much as I can.
Yeah, I would love I also would like you to hire Anna, my wife, as a photographer. She's a very good photographer.
Okay.
And I want to find more and more projects to her.
We have Bertrand currently, but I know she won't be able to do everything, so I'd love to have her come on whenever. She
is very good with making content for social media.
Perfect.
I think that's what most of people require now.
I mean that's where people will get our updates the most. We have newsletters, we have a website, but
same thing.
People live on Instagram. People are attached to their phones and specifically on Instagram. So, if they're already on this platform, we use it because they're already looking at it. So it's in their face. What are your thoughts when you first joined Outsiders and that camping weekend?
Oh, it was amazing. I would love to come. To do something with Outsiders again.
I would love to have you.
It was a really great experience. It was so easy to work. It was really easy because I was having fun. I was drunk as hell first night, if you remember.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but still, like it was really like easy for me to work on projects with you.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun, and I also was making money. I was having fun, and like
Yeah, I mean,
meeting, and I met some new people, so it was great.
I think it's important to work with people who you get along with and who you like.
Just
like,
to feel comfortable.
Yeah, people who you could see yourself having a friendship with. That's why Darshan and I work so well together. That's why we worked well with you.
I still don't understand what he's doing like full time.
Well, so Darshan works for himself. He does
like marketing stuff. Or?
Yeah, digital marketing, brand partnership stuff. He has a few clients. His big one is a company called Lolly.
Okay.
I work with them. He works with us. I actually introduced him to a friend of mine, Eddie, who has a startup called Giggly, and eventually we'll get him on here, but he wants it to be at a certain level. But he works with him now, and I advise. It's a startup, so I advise on it as well. So kind of like the same way you made all those connections in New York that day.
That's actually funny because I remember like Jonathan from Bean to Bean, he told me like every Thursday I'm going to New York, I'm visiting a few places, I meet a few business owners, I speak to them and give my coffee. And when I heard that, I felt opportunities. Like in the moment, I want to go with you just one day.
Yeah.
And I told it like to a few people, and they didn't understand why I felt it was so important for me to go to one day just to meet new people in New York.
Destiny, my friend.
It's super important. If somebody tell you like I'm going to introduce to some business owners, I'm ready to pay for it.
And on top of that, in my opinion,
and networking is super important.
Which is why I was actually late today. Sorry about that, but I was late because my friend wanted me to go to this happy hour at Diageo. And Diageo is a company that has a lot of alcohol brands and spirits as a portfolio. And I was there and just like networking, speaking to everybody, telling them about outsiders. And they were like, oh, we got to join. And I was pitching some ideas. But like I think even if it doesn't turn into a potential project or a payout immediately, those relationships are valuable.
Yeah.
So I think it's genius of you having done that. It's kind of like the same style of way I like to network, is just go meet people.
There is one guy from my hometown. He was like a rap artist. Yeah. And he asked me like to make a music video for him, and I refused because we didn't agree on budget and on idea, and my friends made fun of me because of me working with this guy, but a few months after, he became super famous.
Really?
Yeah.
So you regret that?
No, he's not, because he moved to Russia. He became famous in Russia, and now he left Russia because of what is happening. And I respect what he's doing now. He speaks loudly about what is happening, and I respect him a lot about him becoming famous. I didn't regret. I was just thinking, okay, I need to think twice before refusing to someone.
That's funny. There's been, fortunately for me, I think I have to do the opposite sometimes, because I'll take on everything I can.
Sometimes you need to refuse, sometimes.
But I remember a couple of times where I presented opportunities to partners I was working with, and they shut them down really fast, and it turned out to be huge opportunities they missed out on. Not every time. It's not, that doesn't happen all the time. I wish it did. But yeah. Do you want to say anything more about this Russian-Ukrainian stuff while you're here?
I'm not sure if I can share a lot of it. I just can ask people like to check more on you if they want to know more. They could check Vox or New York Times or CNN about that, but I think people know enough. Like, I'm glad that the United States are sharing that much about what is happening.
So, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what we're seeing on the news in the U.S., is it accurate compared to what you're hearing from family and friends back home?
From what I heard, it's very accurate.
Okay.
Like, I haven't checked all the news, but like CNN, New York Times, maybe Fox News, they're correct. Fox News don't speak a lot about us as they can, but that's why I don't like what they do right now. Like, they can speak more, but
this is interesting because
they're like pro-American and they speak about the United States more, right?
I don't know. I know there's some sort of, I think there's some sort of, maybe I'm wrong, a support for Russians on the Republican side?
That's interesting, because some people ask me, what do you think would happen if Trump was a president now? What would happen to Ukraine?
How do they expect you to know that? Or do you have thoughts on that?
Yes, I have some thoughts because first day or maybe first week when Russia invaded Ukraine, Trump said that Putin is genius. He said that.
Really?
Then he said, sorry, like I didn't mean that he's genius. He was like,
backtracking on the statement.
yeah, something like that. That's what he said first. Ooh. So there are so many people thinking that Trump has some connections with the Russians.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I think I'm glad that Biden is president.
Okay. I agree. Listen, I think there's.
If you talk about Ukrainian problem,
yeah, I mean, I'd rather it be him, but like honestly,
I didn't like him first. Right now, I like him more, but it's a different conversation, I think.
Yeah, my opinion is this: none of the candidates are perfect fit, perfect match.
I think they both are too old. I would like to see next American president young as Zelensky.
I agree.
Like a young person. That would be great.
Younger. I don't want a younger person.
Younger.
So still needs some experience.
50 something.
Yeah.
40 maybe 50 something. Yeah.
Early 50s.
Early 50s.
Is there anything, this has been a much different interview from what we usually do and from the first one, but is there anything about you that I haven't asked you that you want to share? You personally?
My personal?
Yeah.
No. I'm just want to say to people if you need maybe... I don't want to promote myself again.
Well, I'll promote you because I'll promote you. I'm a client. Okay. I'm a client of yours, right?
Okay.
So being a client of Stas, I've been extremely happy with his work. It's been amazing, very affordable, and it's important to us as a startup. We're still considered a startup, but we have lean budgets, so it's been great. But your work is by far surpasses what we pay you for.
One thing I want to say, I want to create more music videos. I'm ready to work with some artists with their ideas for, I want to say for free, but like, I'm ready to work for free. There's some cool projects I would like to. I want to create more music videos for my portfolio.
So if you're interested in hiring, keep in mind that he's also trying to grow this team in Ukraine. This directly helps the Ukrainian people by creating jobs and boosting their economy, and that's something I believe that is very important right now.
Yeah.
So I saw what like people were doing with Airbnbs, like just
that was super a great idea. That was genius.
So they felt great about doing that because you didn't hear that, the sound. It's all good. I mean, I don't mind as long as you can hear us. A genius idea because I think people really appreciate that because they're helping directly. So same thing with you. If anyone out there, whether you're an artist or a company that wants content. Stas's is amazing. Where can they see your reel or your information? All on Instagram, like as far as your content
they can
portfolio?
Contact me by my email, but Instagram I think is much easier.
Okay, so Mr. Prid?
Mr. Prid. Or my email stan@rebelmonkey.pro.
All right, I think we'll stick with Instagram because they can see your work then and then reach out to you on Instagram. I almost feel weird asking you these 5 rapid fire questions, given the whole vibe of this. Only because it's more light. You know what? I'm not mad at it. Let's end it on a lighter note. It's been a kind of more heavy conversation as opposed to most of our stuff, which is good. It's an important topic to cover. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite city other than New York City?
Lviv.
Tel Aviv.
Lviv. Sorry, not Tel Aviv. Lviv, it's a Ukrainian city in western Ukraine.
Lviv, okay.
It's very beautiful. It's very similar to Kharkiv, some Poland cities. It has European architecture. Mm-hmm. It has a cool atmosphere, a really great atmosphere. If you had fun in Kiev, you can have even more fun in Lviv.
Really?
It's a really cool city, to spend time. You just even with your family or just with your friends. It's a really great city, Lviv.
How do you spell it?
Lviv. Lviv.
Lviv. Okay. Lviv. Okay.
Like Tel Aviv, but Lviv, just Lviv.
Got you. If you could do any other profession, what would you do?
Game designer. I would like to work on some game projects, video game projects.
Okay.
It's a very similar industry to mine, but at the same time it's very different. But
are you a big gamer?
Yeah, I play a lot.
What do you play?
Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. My wife hates me because of that. Because I can play during the day when she works. She's working and I'm playing games, and she hates me because of that. But I will tell her that I work hard a lot, so I'm able to have some free time to myself, like just play games.
Gotcha. Fair enough. What's your biggest fear?
I'm afraid of heights.
Really?
Like, yeah.
So if ever we were to do an Outsiders event where it's like canyoneering, rappelling down cliffs, would you not
That's
be able to
actually
film it?
not scare me. It doesn't scare me. What scares me is like to use, how do you call it? Luna Park?
A what?
Oh, that's the problem. We call it in Ukrainian.
Amusement park.
Huh?
Roller coasters? and
Roller
stuff?
coasters.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
afraid of this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
You know
let's
how
go.
we call American roller coasters in Ukraine? American Hills.
American Hills?
I have no idea why, but we call them American Hills.
That's actually from American Hills.
That's funny.
Like American Hills.
Okay. That's an interesting fear. What is your dream project to shoot?
Oh, my dream project. I don't think if I have one. I'm not
Really?
sure. No.
Would you consider this documentary on immigrants?
No. It's just like it's only the beginning of my long way. I haven't thought about that yet. I would like to create something huge, but I don't have a dream project right now.
Okay. Oh,
I'm open to new ideas, and I don't make plans ahead like for more than 1 or 2 years. Especially recently, after COVID, after war in my country, my brain doesn't work like this. I can make like plans ahead in 5 years ahead, because like everything is changing really fast.
True, but you have to have a vision.
I have a vision for some things, and I'm pretty sure that I need to work on it. I need to spend more time to have more vision for my company and what is going to happen next. But after COVID and during war, it's really hard to have a vision because I'm not sure what is going to happen like tomorrow.
Right.
Because every day I wake up and I check the news, and there are many news every day, like about what happened, and I make my plans according to what happened tonight, what happened during this night.
Right. All right. And
I'm just glad I'm alive and my family is safe.
You're kind of living more in the present, which is a goal of mine. I always worry about the future.
Right now, I appreciate more and more my life.
Yeah. I think we should all have that perspective.
Yeah.
Last question, and is what's your favorite food? Obviously, we brought food last time. I was going to ask you to bring it again.
I didn't take
no. You don't have to do. We have the video from last time. Why don't you tell us what you brought? We'll cut the video in. What did you bring last time?
I took kvass with me. It's my favorite drink.
Does that stuff go bad?
What do you mean?
That does it go bad? That drink?
Does it rot? Does it last a long time in the refrigerator? Can you drink it?
Or do you still have it?
I have it in the back. Yeah.
I have no idea. It's still good. We can check it. Let's check.
We can check.
Give me 1 second.
Oh man, this could end up being a bad thing for us. You're drinking like 4 or 5 month old. What's it called?
Sorry. Kvass.
Kvass.
Kvass. Yeah, it was my first job. I was selling kvass on the market.
That's right. So what is exactly? Can you describe what it is made
It's
out?
like a bread water. It's like a Coke, but made from bread. It's like beer beer.
Yeah.
Oh, so it might have fermented then.
Yeah.
Oh, it might actually be your beer now. Look at that. You still have it.
Yeah. It's still carbonated, so that means good.
Should be fine.
You want to taste this again?
Yeah, sure.
You first. That's 5 months old. I'm not trying that. I mean, not first.
It should be fine.
So I remember you brought this. I remember it tasting kind of like Malta. Yeah, but a little lighter, not as sweet. Malta's is it strictly Puerto Rican or is it more Caribbean?
Well, I mean, it's north, I guess it's more
Caribbean, so it's Caribbean drink.
Let me shake it first.
Yeah, please.
Hey, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, it tastes the same.
Yeah.
It does. Less carbonated though.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's still, I'm surprised it's still carbonated.
Yeah. So what was the other thing? We brought a really interesting dish. It was like maybe some sort of
Shuba.
Yeah. Tell us what's in it, because it's a weird mix of stuff.
It had fish.
Yeah.
It had beets.
Beets, hard-boiled eggs too, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I'm not even sure what else was there. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yeah. To me, if
My father once almost died because of it.
Wait, what?
He had some health issues because he ate shuba after it wasn't good. Like,
we're drinking this shit.
Well, no. Well, I mean, mayonnaise is just
because
and
of
fish.
mayonnaise.
Yeah. It's like I had fish and eggs in it.
because of mayonnaise and fish, my father had huge health issues.
Oof.
He was eating shuba after it stayed in our refrigerator for a few weeks. He decided, and I remember that night. I will remember it for all my life. His face was like he was like literally dying. He didn't like but he felt himself like that. There was an ambulance in our house.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember it looked kind of like coleslaw, like that purple coleslaw.
No, well, yeah, it looked like almost like a potato salad.
If you decide to buy somewhere in a grocery, it can be actually unsafe because you need to check.
Where did you buy it?
It was fresh. I bought it in a grocery store, in Russian store in not far from Philly.
So you're saying if you're gonna have it, make it fresh yourself.
It's better to make it fresh yourself. Yeah.
Okay. And you brought a cake? Did you bring anything else?
It was it was Kievsky tort. It was Kiev tort.
Yeah.
Kiev cake.
It was hazelnut.
Yeah.
I had it at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. Okay. Why are those your favorite foods?
This is not my favorite food. Like I just try to bring something that is very Ukrainian or a part of our story. But shuba I think it's more a Soviet thing.
Okay.
So if I would bring something today, I wouldn't take it because it's also part of Russia.
Oh.
Unfortunately, yeah. Because it's more Soviet thing than
It's
Ukrainian.
actually what I was going to ask you, because you bought it in a Russian store. So today, if you were to bring something else today, what would you bring that's, like I said, more Ukrainian as opposed to Russian?
Borscht. I would definitely take borscht here.
Love borscht.
Yeah, borscht is delicious.
It's so good.
Yeah.
There
is a cool spot in New York was called Vasilka. It's so famous. I saw it in many movies. I haven't been there.
Never?
No.
It used to be open 24 hours.
Really?
Yes. We got to go there. Maybe we'll go tomorrow night.
I heard that they have huge lines now.
They do. Well, if we, you know what? After tomorrow night, if you're sticking around, I'm not sure if it's shoot back home, but if you have some time, we'll pass in front. And if it's still a line, then we'll go.
Sure. Yeah, let's try to do that.
My last question to you is: what is your favorite food? It doesn't have to be Ukrainian, but what is your personally favorite food? It could be like pizza or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love tacos.
Fish
tacos. I love Philly cheesesteak. I love American food.
Next time you come here from Philly, I'll give you money. Can you bring me back to Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah, I can.
Where's your favorite place in Philly?
I don't have favorite places in Philadelphia about that. I'm not very picky about it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people in Philadelphians they have their favorite spots.
The first ones I went to Geno's and Pass, but then I got taken to another one which was more authentic and where locals go to. And I don't know. It's I'm sure at the end of the day, you just go to a good local deli and you can probably get a good Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Bams, you want to add anything else?
No, like I said, I just wanted I know this is actually good that we're having this conversation again because what's going on.
Yeah.
But I do apologize that you had to come back all the way back up here again to record.
No,
another
apologize.
episode.
I'm happy to come here, and I
appreciate
driving.
that you came back. I mean, this honestly, I think this was a more interesting and more detailed story of what's going on there as well.
I agree with you.
And Bams, when you told me that, I felt bad for you when you said you lost the audio because I know how much you put into it.
I literally 2 weeks. I was 2 weeks just trying to save this audio. I was talking to everybody. I hit him up. I hit him.
Yeah, we tried it.
I was trying to save it. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't like things going wrong. And I know, listen, there's always going to be bugs. You're going to have issues. I just don't like it happen because then we got to do it all over.
I'm not the person that can be angry because of it.
Right.
Because I'm running a business, I'm used to have some issues with people with something happening. So it's a small thing.
But again,
it's not a big deal for me to come.
This was the perfect one to go wrong, so we can have you back in here, and we'll try to get this out before the news or whatever you say becomes irrelevant because there's new updates. So
new updates we just recently destroyed the biggest Russian warship. Have you heard about that?
No.
We destroyed it with 2 of our rockets, and now all of their other warships they run away. They left because this one was the biggest one.
Wow.
It was the main warship that they used to attack Ukraine, and they also used to defend other warships.
Yeah.
Now they have no defense.
Oh. Well,
Like things like this are happening every day, and it's like.
How are you getting your news?
Oh, on Telegram. Most of Ukrainians, they get them on Telegram. It's a messenger, like a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But there are also channels on Telegram. And each city has its own channel.
Really?
Yeah, like in our, for example, Kiev. Something is happening in Kiev. And there is their own channel, and people filming what is happening. They're sending this video to admin.
It's like the Citizen app. And
It's similar to Citizen, so I get all the information really fast. But right now people share less videos because we don't want Russians to see where their rockets hit and if their rockets hit something. So right now we have less information. But you can find also many videos of Russians in captivity, of destroyed Russian tanks on Telegram. Yeah, there are a lot.
I mean, I don't want to see anybody in captivity. I don't want to see war. I just don't want to see it. It's unfortunate. You know?
I agree. But
because at the end of the day, I don't think it's the people.
I can ignore it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I think it's the people that end up suffering for the government's decisions.
There's also a cool website called Oryx. It's ORYX, Oryx, where is a guy. He's counting how many Russian and Ukrainian tanks are destroyed. And there is also a list of destroyed tanks, and you can click on tank and you can find a photo of this destroyed tank and the date when it was made. So there are proofs.
Wow.
So that's really cool. If you will go to that website, you can see that more than 2,000 Russian units were destroyed or recaptured. Like tanks, cars, different planes. And according to these numbers, you can understand that numbers of dead, 20,000 dead Russian soldiers are correct.
Yeah, I just think that with globalization and the direction the world should be taking, this is steps backwards, personally. You know, war.
Yeah, world needs to do something with that because they ignore it. When this war started, they didn't do anything.
I mean, what's funny is that I think the only time the entire world would be war-free from each other is when we're being attacked by aliens, if that ever happens.
I was thinking about that too. This is a way to unite us. Did you see that movie called Watchmen?
Parts of it, the superhero.
Yeah, it's kind of superhero, but it was more about Cold War.
Okay. Yes.
And there was one guy, he decided to destroy New York because it was the way for him to unite, to stop Cold War and unite Soviet Union and United States against him. It's a very interesting idea, but honestly, it's much easier to unite people around the enemy. That is what's happening in Ukraine now. And aliens is a good idea.
Yeah.
To unite people.
We should find a way to get some fake aliens to attack us somehow, and then we'll unite. No more war in the U.S. I mean, no more in the world. So, good idea. We'll work on that. Stay tuned.
What do you think about the United States? Would they unite if something would happen similar to what's happening in Ukraine? About citizens in the United States?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I think even what's happening, like Russians are not united because there's some that are anti-war, some are not. Yeah. I don't know what it would take for United States to, because especially right now it's so polarized, more so than ever because of, you know, we can say the social dilemma of social media and all that stuff. So,
cool movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only way everyone unites is if there's a common enemy, like you said.
What was during 9/11? Were people united after 9/11?
Yeah, I think they were united, but I also see that there was still the disparity between people in the United States that were
Islamic.
There was because all of a sudden the enemy was anyone who was Muslim, right? Okay. And there was Muslim Americans that had nothing to do with Islam. Right?
I heard about
it was claimed that it was in the name of Allah and all that, but Muslims terrorism is not part of Islam.
That's
has nothing to do with it.
Point. But I think it was really hard for some Muslims.
Exactly. So I think there was still the race issues. So people might have been united in the idea of coming together, but it didn't solve our problems, right?
Yeah.
It didn't solve internal problems with people's interactions with people that are different from them.
I was surprised when I moved here that America still has race issues. I saw that you solved them many years ago.
What do you think about the race issues you saw in Ukraine with African students?
We had some issues 10, 15 years ago. Right now, we don't have no issues.
But there was issues on the news about African students not being allowed on the trains to leave Kiev.
Really? When?
When the war was starting.
They were not allowed to leave Kiev?
They were not allowed to get on the train because the trains were full. They were not letting Africans.
Really? I haven't heard about that.
That was big on social media stuff I saw.
Sorry, I just can't say anything about it because I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
It's really strange that I haven't heard.
I mean, I'm going based off what I saw on social media.
Maybe it's not because they're black. Maybe it's because they're not Ukrainians. Maybe that's the reason. But
either way, they're still humans and trying to get out of a war zone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly think
I'll check it. Honestly, I haven't heard about that.
I think there's always going to be problems with people who are different. You know, people you don't know, people who are different. That's just, I think, unfortunately, it's part of exactly.
Yeah.
And humans are tribal, and also like it doesn't necessarily have to be people of different skin color, because you could be, friendly with a person of different skin color, but hate somebody who is from a different part of the town, hate different political views, and so on. So I don't know if it'll ever end. I think it's built into our genetics somehow, and unless you have super high EQ and intelligence and awareness, I don't know
heard some things that like 1,000 years ago, when somebody was different than you, people thought he was different because he was ill, and people were afraid of him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it still stayed in our mind, so we are afraid of somebody who is not who is
or
not
a threat to a threat to your well-being. If you're coming from a different tribe and you're coming to me, like I'm over here. This is like back in centuries ago. There's a chance someone tried to take over.
I think everything is much better now, and fortunately, people will solve this problem soon. This new generation.
This has been a problem going on for a century. Like the civil rights movement was in the 60s, and we're still dealing with issues of racial disparity as far as the justice system. So
I'm glad I have no issues about that.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like it's not just in the United States. It's all over Europe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, it's a whole other.
It's also a political thing because some politics try to use. They just speak loud about something like that to get new people.
Votes, of course. Votes, I mean, listen, controversy sells and gets.
Like even during the Black Lives Matter movement, Trump could solve this problem. He could speak to the people and ask them, "What do you want? How can I help you in this situation?" And after this conversation, people can they could solve it. But he didn't speak. He just tried to ignore everything.
Yeah, I mean, even when
that's why he feels like similar to Putin for me right now, because he's the one who didn't speak.
Well, we're talking about two egomaniacs driven by
egomaniac.
Ego.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah,
I'll remember it. Egomaniac.
We're talking about two egomaniacs, people that are driven with their ego and don't necessarily have the best interests of the people who they're governing. It's unfortunate. I don't know. Listen, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face, and we probably should have another conversation, get some more people on board into this show, and we'll have a whole couch episode, and we plan on doing more stuff.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if we'll ever solve all the world's problems.
No, because once you solve one problem, somebody's gonna find a new one.
I think we kind of need problems to solve. If there's no more problems,
we need to find aliens.
Aliens. I'm looking to it. I'm looking to aliens. That'll unite us for a while. We'll see what's up. But anyway, we're going on a crazy tangent. It's a great conversation. I appreciate you bringing your insight about what's going on in Ukraine from your perspective, with your direct source of information and how we can help. Again, guys, you can reach out to Stas on his Instagram to not only find out how you can help directly with the Ukrainian people, but also if you want to help directly and need videography work and anything content oriented, photography or whatever.
Nice.
Rebel Monkey Productions would be a way to get your content problem solved, as well as helping people directly. So thank you so much for being part of this show, coming back again. And again, like I said, I'm really happy that we had to have you back. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me here.
All
It's
right.
a huge pleasure.
Do it again, man. Thanks
And
again.
an honor.
Peace, guys.